Hello. It is excellent to see you. It's been a couple weeks now. However, the holidays and time got away with us, or from us, I should say. No one will get away with us. Welcome back to the Rolling Nomads. This is the Book of Saints. I am your storyteller for tonight's chronicle, Gilbert Ramos. I have no further announcements, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's go ahead and meet our characters, shall we?
Hi, I'm Isaiah, play Alejandro. Excited to be back. Can't wait to get into it.
Hey, it's Trey. Yeah, ready to see what happens.
Warren here is Victor BELLSHANE. We're excited to see what we got going on tonight.
Indeed, there is a lot going on tonight. However, you don't have to take my word for it. Let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Book of Saints. We will begin, of course, with a recap. And now we have a volunteer tonight. Trey, if you would kindly.
Yeah, so what last time? What did we do, fellas? We was at a church, right? And we spoke at church a little bit and then left there and met up with Monique and Felix uh at this rundown uh like half built mall or something like that, right? Bunch of stores. They really should have let that mall be built and then took over the mall, personally. But yeah, we went in there, the Warriors, met them. There was a cool, a couple cool cats uh in there. Williams had spoken to kind of like the new leader of the Warriors, I guess, because they just been getting hit left and right from the Camarilla. Um, and yeah, they just had a good talk. Uh, Alejandro kind of like interrogated somebody via conversation. It was a weird tactic that worked. Um, and Trey, yeah, might have, got some new, what do they call them? Parishioners? Is no like
Parishioner.
parishioners? Yeah. Um, so yeah. Then we left the Warriors, contemplated on what our next move is. And then we got word that what was it? The Hound is visiting the church that we just left prior to coming to the Warrior spot. Um, and I believe we've decided to go ahead and have a conversation with the Hound.
Excellent. Now, there is always still time. Well, not always still time, but there is still time in your case, for all of you, that you can choose to back out of this plan. Or you can continue on your path and seek out the judge. What is the next move, Saints?
Well, I believe Victor have already expressed his interest in on speaking to the Hound. Uh, and I already expressed my concern of meeting at the church. Uh, but regardless of what the case, I'll follow Victor's lead.
Anybody else get a veiled threat sensation from God just now? That was crazy. Um, do you, does anybody not want to go?
I'm down to climb.
I would just, express. No, fuck it, let's go. Yeah, sure. Yeah, can I do like a loud whistle? You know, I did some training with Chewy over the past few months, and it's just calling card wherever he's at, he's gonna hear it, right? And you know,
You may, of course, absolutely do so. Go ahead and give me. I'll tell you what. I'll give me anything being your social attributes: charisma, manipulation, or composure, and animal kin.
I'm gonna do charisma and animal can. Where am I at on hunger? I'm a little bit hungry. All right. Six successes.
6 successes.
Yeah.
Well, Trey, you've told me you've done some training here, so I won't take narrative control from you. Is there any sign that Chewie gives to let you know that he's listening or that he's nearby? Is there any sort of howl or sound or sharp movement that you would catch to show that he's heard your call?
Um. Yeah. It's kind of like, yeah. It's a sharp, unusual howl. You know. You know. Everybody can hear it, of course. But it's hard to place what it is. Is that a coyote? I don't know. Dogs? Do they have huskies in Mexico? Do they shave huskies in Mexico? Like, yeah.
All of the inhabitants of Mexico City will look up at the sky and wonder where there's shaved huskies in Mexico. You hear the reply, Trey. He's nearby. Last we saw all of you, Jason was driving. Would you like Felix and Monique to go ahead? Or are you guys, for lack of a better term, going in mob deep?
Nah, they
Awesome.
can go ahead, scout out the situation.
You
Do
know,
not
Engage.
get hurt.
do you really trust Felix like that? Like, I like Felix, but do you with Monique? And
Not like he's gonna hurt her.
no, I'm
I'm pretty
saying Felix is liable to do something stupid that will probably get her in trouble.
I mean, if he does something stupid, she's probably gonna have a field day watching him die.
Felix looks at you and says, I'm right here.
I smell you just fine.
I'm just gonna look to Monique and just be like, "Tell me I'm wrong."
She kind of smiles and says, I'll keep him on a short lead.
All right. Well,
Love you, Felix.
Gives you a finger as he turns with Monique and moves into an alleyway.
Let's go. Fight our way through freaking traffic again.
Do this. Anything you discuss along the way? Is there stratagem, their tactical planning, movements?
Major plan is to talk to him first. I want to see why he turned. Made
Even
him
after we talk.
leave.
And then after we talk.
Answers he gives.
what do we want to try to convert him back? Or
Maybe, because I find it very hard to believe that somebody that was that diehard, that fanatical, for lack of a better word, just flip.
what's that? What's that? That mine thing you was telling me about the dominate.
What about dominate?
Can that like force somebody to do something? to flip.
Definitely could. And unfortunately, I am not skilled enough in that. Flip him back if that's what happened.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, I don't even think I want him back, honestly.
I would agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that he poses such a problem for us.
I mean, killing him would do just as good. Not like he's gonna be a martyr or something.
I agree with Trey on that one.
Well, I'll follow your lead.
The plan is to talk. You fight through traffic, you get back to the church. You make your way through Mexico City. About 20 minutes. You're not too far from the church when you receive the text message from Monique. He's speaking to the Thin Bloods. I think he's rallying.
Well,
Or what?
Takes a moment. Against us.
That's problematic.
I mean, so what's the plan?
Do we call them?
Do we call who?
The Thin Bloods.
I mean, we're already on our way there.
That's what I'm saying. We just take them out. Take him
Oh.
out.
Cull. I heard call. Sorry.
No, no. If he's radicalizing with Thin Bloods, I mean.
No, because I very much question how much sway he would have with them given his own past.
Ask him if it looks like, are they buying it? Like,
You gotta give you my opinion.
yeah.
By all means.
Personally, I think we need to go ahead and, I guess, have a show of force, of unity. I mean, how many of the Thin Bloods are going to want to go against us alongside the Warriors with just, a deputy sheriff on their hand? And those who don't change, we just destroy right then and there.
That's what I was saying.
Does that not undermine your entire purpose for going to the church earlier tonight?
I mean, it's been some time. I had enough time to think about.
In game time, it's only been like an hour, right? Maybe 2.
Since you left?
Yeah.
About that, yeah.
It's been an insightful 2 hours.
I mean, if Kane don't reach them now, then they might just be forsaken, honestly. So
Now you're starting to sound like me.
I could be hypocritical, but I'm also trying to be logical.
Nothing wrong with a little cold logic.
I'm gonna pull out my phone and I'm gonna go ahead and text old girl. And I'm letting y'all know this. So
Do it.
yeah, I'm in the text message. I'm gonna tell them that we was gonna try to, hang out with y'all later. But apparently it seems the hound is rallying some thin bloods for his cause. So we're gonna go ahead and I guess meet them at the church.
This is the warrior that you spoke with and bid you to preach a sermon.
Yeah.
Relatively quick reply. Simple. It's younger than she seemed. Just communicate. It just says drop the Addy.
Yeah. Well, when I don't know how far this place is, but when I get closer, I guess I'm trying to strategically, like, give us some time to maybe air things out before they show up and, whatever. But I don't know, 15 minutes. I was bad in traffic. 2 hours. What's the GPS looking like? Jason.
Jason is honking his horn as someone is turning. You know that moment where you are in the right lane? Realistically, Jason should probably not be in the right lane. But when you're in the right lane and someone is slowing down for a turn and they slow about 50 feet too fucking far from the turn and they come to almost a complete goddamn stop. I'm looking at you, Phoenix drivers. Figure your fucking lives out. Dude slows down from 45 to 10 miles per hour and slowly makes the turn. You can hear Jason yelling obscenities. A strange mix of Italian and sort of English with a New York accent. And he kind of turns back and says, if we got drivers like this, 3 more hours.
Well, I guess I'll send it.
Yeah, at
God
this
damn.
point, it's like, why not walk?
Yeah. How much time do we have left?
No, like literally, fucking Jesus Christ.
You can see on Jason speaks up and says, should be up only about 10 minutes max.
Oh, okay. Jeez. I believe you when you talk, right?
Yeah, like that was a grand extrapolation. In 3 hours, I was like, fuck.
At least we know he's ready to fight.
Swerves and begins to weave in and out of traffic.
Yeah. I'll send in the address. So.
there's an emoji of just a little running man that is in reply.
Oh shit, they might have celerity.
Doubt it.
They are warriors, so I would assume.
Is there anything else you need to discuss?
Not that I can think of.
I'm good.
I am also good.
Time passes. Little under 10 minutes. You arrive. Jason pulls the car to the side of the road. Bit of a tire screech. Leans back and looks at everyone else in the back seat and says, "We just walking in?"
Why not? Right through the front freaking door.
Are you fine with that?
You're not going to be expecting us to come back.
You can see him pull the slide back on one of his handguns. Let's do it. Open the car door.
Looking straight up to the church. Fling
I
both
follow.
the doors open.
You all follow?
Mm-hmm.
Walking in a really cool formation.
Like a
Interesting you
diamond
bring-
formation?
We just look cool.
It's interesting you bring that up. What is the marching order?
I'm on the right side
Still?
I'll be on the
of
left.
Victor.
Victor, do you take center?
Yeah, I said I was flinging the door open, so.
Jason takes the rear, keeping an eye on the back. Doors are flung open. You see the Thin Bloods gathered now within the first two pews on either side as a gentleman stands not at the altar and not in front of the podium, or rather not at the podium, in front of it. He stands off the steps as if he is on level ground and looking to each one of them. Doors fling open and they rise quickly, ready to meet whatever has come through their door. They are all taking a sort of defensive stance, save for the gentleman at the center, directly in your path, Victor. This is a gentleman you've just recently seen, or at least a version of him, illusionary version. You see, he is unchanged from how Felix remembers him. Hair is the same. Expression is the same. There is a coldness to him as his eyes almost lazily go toward the door, witness all of you.
Fernando Villarreal, a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
Victor BELLSHANE.
I've heard a lot about you. I have questions, if you wouldn't mind talking for a minute.
Crosses his arms. Have you come to confess?
I have nothing to confess. I have come to converse.
Give me a reason not to strike you down now and see my task complete.
For one, Even if you did kill me, it wouldn't complete your task. I have already assuredly accomplished mine. Sabat here in Mexico are stronger than me. They're stronger than just one pack. We may be leading the charge, but somebody else will step into our place. And I didn't really come here to fight. Why start one when one is not needed?
I need manipulation and persuasion roll from you, Victor. You can, of course, make any argument you would like for another skill, if you so choose.
Personally, I'd like to use charisma because I'm not lying. I'm here to talk.
Manipulation doesn't necessarily mean you're lying. Manipulation is the skill
Getting
you
them
would
to do what you
use.
want.
Exactly. And that's exactly what
Right.
you're up to. Charisma would be more appeal, more, almost like moxie, using body language, and wouldn't be trying to convert or to convince, not necessarily.
How well you sound and how good you look doing it.
Kind of. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I'll roll it. But I am gonna blood surge.
By all means, make your rouse check.
Success.
Success.
It's all about the surge.
While Victor rolls this, Trey, Alejandro, what are you up to? You are not simply wallflowers in this. You are involved. Don't forget you have actions and you may act freely.
How many thin bloods are in here?
Looks about, from what you can tell, those in the two pews. Real quick, Alejandro, do you have Auspex?
No. I have a
can see-
fancy little monocle.
Mm-hmm. Does the monocle do anything that I should know about?
It's the monocle of clarity.
Please detail.
Designed by the Tremere to detect obfuscated spies, the user makes a rouse check to activate and rolls wits or resolve plus 5 dice against the target's wits plus obfuscate. Success pierces the target's obfuscate. Total failure pieces the veil between the skull and the neck, exposing them to things better left unseen, inflicting 1 point of superficial willpower damage.
Give me wits and resolve.
I got 8 successes with a messy critical.
Secret.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Four successes.
Four successes. I'll get to your messy critical very shortly, Victor. Alejandro, do you place the monocle on your? I'm assuming you do.
Yeah, it's on my right eye.
Preparation. He seems to stand alone. There seems to be about 7 thin bloods, plus the preacher, so 8. The preacher that Trey was interacting with. 9 combatants in opposition should this turn up, is what you see.
Okay.
What
For
I,
you, Victor, a messy critical. You feel of violence in you rise. You suddenly are perhaps angry or frustrated, but there is a viciousness in you that bubbles to the surface as this man stands before you now. How did you feel before knowing that he was former Sabat?
Oh, that would be very, very angry. Disappointment at the same time, but also the disappointment was more inward, as I once betrayed the Sabbat myself. Turned away from them.
You feel rage. This was a failure not of your own, really, but you are Sabat. Your pack is the Sword of Cain, as is all packs that reside in Mexico City. Somehow, this soldier defected, and that is a failure on the Sword of Cain. His personal failures aside, there is that to be dealt with, but there is a ruthlessness in you. He will hear you. You will succeed in whatever goal you choose here. You are suffering from your clan compulsion of ruthlessness. You need to review your clan compulsion. It can be found in the player's guide on page 30. For quick reference for you and for our viewers, I'll read this verbatim here. The Sombra despise failure, associating it with poor planning or a personal declivity. When affected by this compulsion, their blood urges them forward in any act conceivable to reach their goals, whether in the moment or via Byzantine plots lasting centuries. The Magister feels any setback profoundly, and they quickly escalate to the most ruthless of methods until they achieve their aims. The next time the vampire fails any action, they receive a 2 dice penalty to any and all rolls until a future attempt at the same action succeeds, or the scene ends. Note that the above penalty applies to future attempts at the triggered action as well. So, Victor, you feel this. Mechanically speaking, you have not failed a roll yet. But this is something to be wary of. As you speak.
I would like to discuss why one so honored as yourself would now stand before me trying to convert others away from the path that you once held so dear. What made you fall?
Fall. Do you think I've fallen? Young
Fought.
and naive. While you were fighting in a cesspit, ghosts, fighting the Harbinger, fighting your Tremere, fighting the Mithraeum. I, closer to Cain than you ever could, boy. When you returned to Mexico, lost and confused, ready to start your legacy anew, I heard his voice, boy. All? The wool has been pulled from my eyes. You are nothing but a scab. A clotted wound simply needs to fall away. let the organism heal without you. You and the entirety, the so-called Sword of Cain, are failures. All of you. All of you seek to spread his word, could not possibly fathom what he truly is.
Oh, and you turned so quickly from one faith that you were completely devout in, he would choose you, be his messenger, to hear his words. Think you can lead us into his arms.
I was not chosen to. I was chosen to cleanse.
So were we. Cleanse we shall.
He reaches behind him. From the back of his waistband, pulls 2 daggers. Readies himself.
I want to activate Shadow Step.
Detail what it does.
Make my rouse check. Success. I enter a shadow large enough to cover me, which in this case would be the door that I'm still standing in. And I would emerge from a... Can't read. Emerge from another one that is any other target shadow that's within sight. It can be perceived by a mystical means, such as shadow perspective, if desired. And I can take someone with me if I wanted to, but in this case, I'm not planning on it.
Understood.
And I'm going to come out of his shadow.
Understood. Is there any rouse check or anything involved?
I already made it. Success.
Success. You do this. Trey, Alejandro, your actions.
Man, this is so anime.
Bro, what?
There is a reason you call me senpai.
Yeah, I guess we're fighting, right? That's
I guess.
so I guess I'll whistle for Chewie. I choose you.
You whistle. Given your previous roll, there's no roll required or anything. You had time stuck in traffic. He will emerge, not from the rafters, but from seemingly crawling along the front of the church. You hear before you see, he flings himself from the top banister, the top of the doorway, forward, over your head, Trey. Is that all?
Can I use a power?
By all means.
I don't know if you saw, but I put in there, the shape change. I'm gonna change shape.
Kindly detail it for the class.
I'm gonna change shape to an animal. And if you allow me, to have, a little fun with it, I guess. But anyway, I said vampire can assume the shape of an animal roughly the same size as their original mass. The vampire can only change into one animal, usually a wolf, sometimes large feline or a giant snake, one associated with their clan or prey that they most commonly feed on. Uh, yeah, the animal, while usually a spectacular example of their species, shows no sign of mundane observer of being supernatural. One rouse check, which I'll do right now. Boom, pass. No test is required for the transformation. Takes one turn. Um, and I can't take any other actions. The vampire gains physical attribute senses native associated with the animal, and also gains the animal's limitations. Um, I can still use disciplines at the storyteller's discretion. Um, yeah,
You do this. What animal shape would you like to change into, Trey?
chupacabra.
I had a feeling. Unfortunately,
Oh, a mini chupa, a mini chupi.
this would be associated with your clan or the prey that you feed on.
We share blood all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that
He
right?
nibbles on Chewy on the regular, dude. What are you talking about?
Chewie is his herd.
Okay, wolf. All right, wolf.
Excellent. A wolf then. You do this. It takes a turn. But on your next turn, what does the world see?
Um, yeah, I mean they see kind of like a hairy, shaggy, husky.
A
Yeah,
scruffy lad.
yeah. It
Excellent.
says no, same body size, right? So Trey
A
a
wolf
little
is
bigger.
a wolf
Is
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 everyone
a wolf?
forgets
I feel like a
how
wolf is bigger than a human though.
not as
So I
big.
can't.
It's not bigger than a human. It's but I do need to stress that media, television, movies have lied to you. Wolves are big motherfuckers. You can be a wolf. There is nothing stopping you. It's about the same mass, not the same size. So, muscle mass, fur, all of that comes into play here. You can be a regular sized wolf or perhaps a little larger.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let me just be yeah, a nice sized wolf. Um, with coats of black and and auburn fur.
Understood. Transformation takes the turn. You have called for Chewy. Alejandro, your action.
I'm gonna use Blood of Potency.
What's it do?
The vampire can concentrate their blood, increasing its potency temporarily. The user makes a resolve plus blood sorcery roll against a difficulty of 2 plus their blood potency. A win increases their blood potency by 1 for that scene, and a critical win increases it by 2. The vampire can use this power to exceed their generation limit on blood potency during its duration. You guys gotta make a
Understood.
rouse check real quick.
Yes, Victor, you have questions.
I need a quick recap. What all did you cast on us at the beginning of this night?
Uh, Firewalker.
Firewalker and you, I believe, bolstered either your own or their affinity for defense against mental disciplines, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I was curious.
Um.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
um, am I still allowed to use disciplines in this shape?
Does it specify physical or mental, or does it just say you may still use this once?
It said at storyteller's discretion. Let me bring it back up. Um, use other disciplines at the storyteller discretion. By and large, they can use aspects, animalism, celerity, fortitude, potence, protein, and many powers of dominate, obfuscate, and presence, pose problems. Blood sorcery is completely off the table.
I would agree with the ruling. As a caveat, there are certain dominate powers that require you to issue complex instruction or to speak, such as just the utterance of the word "forget." You're a wolf, and as interesting as it would be, I cannot justify it because it's written in the mechanics. So anything that
Maybe
would
it's
require you, say again,
by practice speaking as a wolf. Over time. Some dogs talk now.
yeah, that's what
Gonna
I'm
sound
thinking.
like
Yeah,
a pure husky. He's just gonna.
I'll allow it if you take time to practice. Yes.
You just got him Trey in his room in the middle of the night.
Trey, shut the fuck up. We're sleeping. Oh wait, it's the middle of the night. You said.
Yeah, no,
We're
we're all
on
awake.
them.
Oh, I succeeded. I pisses me off though because I tried to get a crit. I got 10, 9, 9.
Get fucked.
Just,
So your
I
blood
only go by
potency
one.
increases to 2, 3. Excellent. So I have everyone's actions. Victor, you've activated a power. You have moved to his space. This is not necessarily a surprise round or anything like that. However, it is their turn. So, the Thin Bloods move. They are further than him. He's going to go first. He turns to face you, Victor, and crouches low. Not moving to attack, but readying himself to defend as he speaks and says, Monomacy, you and me, no one interferes. Or do you have no honor, Paladin?
Out of character. Question. Monomacy is kindred K-Knight wide, right? No sect really doesn't do monomacy.
Yes and no. The Sabbat have kind of capitalized on it. The Camarilla are more refined, less bestial than single combat. They prefer their political games. Monomacy is an old way. It's an old law. Yeah. And his parameters, for clarity, for everyone's clarity, so nothing is misconstrued. He has called for monomacy against you, Victor. You and him, no one else interferes. So that this is clear, He doesn't care what happens around him. Alejandro and Trey can continue to fight the Thin Bloods. There could be a massacre going on around him, but he wants to deal with you. One-on-one.
Okay, back in character. Funny, I was already planning for a one-on-one fight.
Crouches low. Takes no action. The Thin Bloods are up next. To make this a bit simple, Trey, Alejandro, he has called this out. It is entirely your choice what you do from here. You can attack the Thin Bloods. You can choose to hold off. You can... Really, the world is your oyster. This includes not honoring the monomacy. However, as Cainites yourselves, there's a stigma should you choose to ignore it. Just so all cards are on the table, gentlemen.
What the Thin Bloods do?
It doesn't matter. They're dying.
They are moving. You see, of the 8 Thin Bloods, 4 move into the aisleway, 4 spread out standing on pews. All of them taking a defensive stance. Some pull daggers, others pull guns. Others are downing strange vials of concoction. It's a preparation, it looks like.
Is the coffee lady there?
Coffee is there.
Probably is getting packed.
You just hear his soft whimper.
Do this. This is the Thin Blood's turn. Everyone is waiting to see what the Saints do.
Yeah, where's Felix and
Felix and Monique will join shortly.
Okay, I was like, wait, are they here?
Trust me, I haven't forgotten. Jason, for your guys' knowledge, has his handgun out, aimed at the Bon Hakim, at the judge. And is waiting to see what the move is, gentlemen. But as this round comes to a close, we begin at the top once more. Your hand-to-hand, your melee combatants. Victor, you're up.
I mean, what I said was accepting his monomacy, correct?
I'm tracking.
So we're good to start?
You'd like?
Fuck yeah.
Do you convey this to your... Do you convey this... Well, I would leave it to Alejandro and Trey. Do you take this... Oh, sorry, Bindi. Do you take this to mean that your packmate has accepted?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I declared out, Alejandro's like, great, I get a call of Thin Bloods then.
Victor?
What's wrong with this guy?
Bro, we've been over this. I don't know how you keep saying that. What's this guy surprised? It's like session 4. Come on.
Alejandro just vibrating next to Trey. This wolf just looking very confused.
Can't wait.
Victor, your turn.
Let's get this show started. Can I blood surge and activate a power on the same turn?
You absolutely can.
I'm gonna do that. So I'm blood surging not for the power, but for what comes after activating the power.
Hold that roll. Because your activate the power first. Does it require a rouse check?
Yes.
So to make that rouse check, so you
Okay.
You just rolled 1 dice right now, correct?
Yeah, I rolled the hunger die.
Okay, so we'll say what that roll was the rouse check for the power itself.
Yeah. Success.
Excellent.
But I failed the rouse check for my blood surge, so I am
Bringing
gonna
you
get
to
hungrier.
What hunger?
2.
Hunger 2. The beast crawls its way from your stomach, latching to your ribs, beginning to work its way upwards and into your mind, Victor.
I'm
How do you
activating
activate
touch of oblivion.
Understood.
So now, wherever I touch him, that area is physically withered into nothingness, and it will do aggravated damage.
As a reminder to our combatants, you may always choose to take half.
I forgot all about that shit. Angry. 9 successes with a messy crit.
Nine successes with a messy crit, huh? 6 successes. Your messy critical, Victor, we'll keep it simple. You are now at hunger 3. As your hunger rises as you grip him, you have your target in your grasp. That ruthlessness rises up. You don't suffer the mechanics of ruthlessness yet. You have been successful thus far, but you feel your hunger rise. You can feel the beast begin to stir, crawling its way up towards your heart, whispering, almost a sharpness in your ears as it screams out, "Consume him. Let this be done to finish our conquest." Victor, you were 3 successes over. So, this will be dealt in aggravated damage, correct? With Touch of Oblivion? Yes?
Yes.
Where do you grab him?
If I can call it, I would prefer his right arm.
You do this.
Like, shoulder. So
Shoulder.
it withers down.
Take some narrative control. What's it look like as a Touch of Oblivion is activated and starts to wither and make his arm decrepit?
So I'm thinking the shows from the old vampires, you see if is his arm exposed? It will be, fuck it. It eats away at his clothes that are covering that arm, and you can see the black veins just slowly creeping down his arm as it begins to, the whole thing starts to turn gray and ugly and muscles deteriorate.
You see the as detailed. We detailed that he hasn't changed, obviously, as K-Knight. We didn't detail what he's wearing. He's wearing a simple, looks almost like a Carhartt black jacket. Now, with the right sleeve deteriorating, you can see the arm is now exposed as the shirt material, the simple black shirt that he was wearing, is falling away. And you can see a network, an inked geometric maze of tattoos all across his arm as it begins to wither away. He clutches his dagger firmly. Victor. Is it your turn?
I activated a power, took an action. I don't think I can do anything else, can I?
Move.
Yeah, I'll back up a little bit after gripping
Yeah,
on.
do it.
He smiles. would pierce my soul. Think this is anything to me. We'll take a step towards you. That will be his turn.
Why does he keep flexing?
This brings us to TREY. ALEJANDRO, your actions, please. The Thin Bloods have readied themselves in defense. They have prepared, drawing.
You said there was, what, 8 of them?
8, correct.
How many of them drank the concoction?
There were 3 in total.
Okay. I am just going to... Can I extinguish the VtM within blood? I don't want to be able to use the concoction. The user can intentionally remove the unliking properties of some of the blood in another vampire, stoking their hunger as the victim's inner reserves curdle into impotence.
Good.
Okay. Then I'll do that. It's a contested roll, intelligence plus blood sorcery versus stamina plus composure. Also, I have to rouse. Failed the rouse.
Failed the rouse check. Leaving you at hunger, what, ALEJANDRO?
1.
The beast begins to stir, but nothing more.
Can I blood search?
You may.
Let's see. That worked. Great. Blood sorcery. Intelligence.
What you got for me, ALEJANDRO?
Five successes.
5 successes. What is the roll to resist?
Composure plus stamina.
This targets 1, correct?
Yeah.
6 successes. Critical win.
Okay.
A power has been used. Would you like to move it all?
Yeah, I'll move back. Towards a pew.
Understood. TREY?
Yeah, if you allow it, I'd like to activate feral weapons.
Detail feral weapons.
Huh?
Detail feral weapons.
Oh, basically, I could adopt, some of the weapon types of different animals, and it adds +2 to my damage with brawl, which I assume is what I use to fight with. And it causes aggravated damage to humans, and superficial damage is not halved with these attacks. So, yeah.
Understood. You do this, you activate feral weapons. You still have an action you can take.
I guess I don't know if directions to chew in action.
I'm gonna say for these purposes, yes, unfortunately.
Well, hold on. Let me see real quick, because he's my familiars, right?
Yes, he's your Bond Famulus, correct?
Yeah, you
Then
should.
you should be able to
He
communicate
is.
sort of telepathically, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm looking for. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, yeah, I did that. I did that. Okay. Only a death is a familius release from its bond system. Use of feral whispers, which I do have. Below giving commands to the animal requires a charisma and animal kin roll. Increase difficulty for more complex orders. Yeah. I can use feral whispers and subsume spirit on familius for free. But I already activated one discipline power, right? So I wouldn't be able to do feral whispers. Um but yeah, if I could, you want me to do the charisma animal kin roll?
Please.
All right. And it's just really just coordinating attacks. Because yeah, we're if it's successful, we're gonna attack them. Or move into attack, at least.
Understood.
Charisma. Animal can. Blood surge. Success. Close to 5 successes.
5 successes. You issue the command, Trey. He moves in to be ready to attack, or he moves in to attack.
To attack. We're gonna coordinate attacks, and we're taking 2 next to each other. One he takes one, I take the other.
Understood. There are, as I said, 4 in the aisleway. Those 2 in front.
Yeah, we take 2. We take 2 of them.
Understood. Go
We're
ahead.
going after 2 of them at least. So.
Let's have your roll to hit.
Oh.
And do you still have Chewy's stat block? You've moved houses, I believe, since this was
I
sent
did
to you.
move
So
on.
this has been some time. If not, I can grab it for you.
I might need it. Let me double check though. Yeah, no, I don't have it.
Not a problem. I'll roll for Chewy.
Cool.
Let's have your roll to strike.
All right. And I'm in wolf form, so I use wolf stats, right?
Yes, please.
So I'm not really sure. It's a standard dice pool, physical 6, so I just use 6 die.
You use 6. You're going to use 6 die unless you would like to blood surge.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Does the previous blood surge still count, or do I got blood surge every time, or is it for the scene?
It's not for the scene. It's every power, every ability you'd like to bolster.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna
it's
do
every
it.
time.
All right. I'm a blood surge then.
The dangers
Success.
of rousing. Excellent.
2 level 6. Right, and that's 3. And then I use brawl, right? Yeah, brawl. That's 2. Two, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes with a crit.
9 successes with a crit. Understood. I've rolled for Chewy, who has 8 successes with a crit. So hold on to those rolls. Guys, remember those numbers for me, because I'm obviously, as you can see, dealing with a lot right now. Sweet me. So, the individual you go after, Trey, you go to strike with your claws. He moves to deflect and is ready to punch you in the ribs. You move quickly, and you are on him so much so that you can choose to maul him, sort of knocking him back. But his punch lands with little effect. You feel a thump against your side. 4 successes on his part.
Nice.
And this is not halved, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So what? What is it? 9 minus 4, right? It'll be. So what is that? 5?
5 super.
5
Unhalved.
superficial, unhalved. You add 2 from feral claws, and then 1 for being a wolf. So 5, 6, 7, 8 total damage. Superficial damage.
Superficial damage. Trey, detail, he's not quite dead, or in torpor, depending on what this Thin Blood's qualities are. But he's not looking great at all, so take some narrative control. What's this look like?
Oh, yeah, the punch, when he connects, I just grapple onto that arm. I just lock onto that arm, start, it's a chew toy at this point. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'll take it with me. I don't know.
Understood. You want to rip his arm out of his socket?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Excellent. You do this. You can see in your peripheral, Alejandro, you can see very clearly Chewy follows in kind, sort of mimicking wolf form Trey's action here, knocking the opponent down. Though Chewy, having suffered a messy critical, is a bit more bestial, and rather than tear the arm away, he goes straight for the throat. 1 success on this defense's part. This kindred, this Thin Blood, it's difficult to tell if they are in torpor or if they are simply dead, as Chewy tears away the throat, and as he looks up at the rest, rips open the ribcage and lets out a blood-curdling cry, which is going to result in some issues for the Thin Bloods in the morale standpoint. So, those 2 Thin Bloods, for the time being, dealt with. Trey, you can finish the other one off on your next turn if you, or you can simply leave past David. I don't imagine that he'll be keen to fight whatever the hell Chewy is, but we have 6 others to deal with. We'll keep this very simple. I'll make quick rapid-fire rolls of their common dice pool. We'll split this up evenly. Alejandro, you did not take an action, correct?
No, I tried to extinguish VtM, it didn't work.
Understood. So I need, if you'd like to make a defensive roll, kindly do so. There are 3 combatants coming towards you. You would need to split dice pool to defend against all 3, or you can just choose to take 2 of them and fight against 1, or split this however you'd like.
I'm just getting jumped. All 3 of them are coming at me.
3 of them are coming at you, and 3 of them are coming at Trey. So Trey, if unfortunately you've made an attack action essentially, and vampire combat requires that you either take a defense or an attack. It's been some time since we played, but this is the way.
I guess I'll just go overall.
Alejandro, are you trying to just dodge one? Or all?
Yeah, I'll would I be able to like run over to the wall?
Unfortunately, no. You've used, well, declaring your intent. Sure, we'll say you can go over to the wall.
Okay. Well, I prepared clinging with the insect.
Recall you with your spider.
Yeah, so can I just climb the wall?
You can down that and move. Sure, that changes things a bit. Absolutely. You have to move at a, not a crawl, but you must truly cling like an insect.
Yeah, I have to walk on all fours. It's full Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 1, you know.
Excellent. So, for you, Alejandro, you're able to evade these attacks. Given that the movement is done here, they'll move after you. Trey, as you are tearing into the arm, the other 3 come at you. You are going to take 3 superficial damage as they hammer against your ribs, your back, try to tear you away from their friend. That's already halved and taken care of. This, of course, leads into our melee combatants, which is Jason. Holy shit. That is 10 successes, a messy critical. As the Thin Bloods have taken their action to both chase Alejandro and try to attack Alejandro, and are currently attacking Trey. Trey, above your head, you hear a gunshot, and a Thin Blood is grievously wounded as blood spills across the coat that is your fur. All of you hear and see a blur of 2 figures dropping from the rafters. We've entered the phase of new combatants. As well as the sounds of rushing and storming of doorways, back rooms. Nothing terribly of note just yet. This brings us back around to Victor and Fernando. What is your intent, Victor?
First off, you're not the only one who walked through fire. You're not special. I'm gonna back up, and I'm gonna activate Arms of Ahriman. Because him just keep coming at me with them daggers makes me feel uneasy. And I want to use it as a whip and just send him flying backwards. So rouse check for Arms of Ahriman. Tentacles of Shadow will spout around me that can be used to grapple or deal blunt damage. Up to double my Oblivion rating in yards. So at this point, they can go up to 10 yards away.
Understood.
Rouse check. Success. And yeah.
For your knowledge, he is finally going to be making a move against you rather than just defending and advancing on you. As you speak, activate Arms of Ahriman. Steps forward, raising the dagger, and says, I am the only one among us who has faced wooden doom and survived. Continue making
Surge.
I'm also
Success.
good at Surge.
Saw that coming.
This guy was blitzing.
As a failure on my part.
Six successes.
The Arms of Ahriman strike against him, Victor. But he forces, as it strikes against his chest, he moves forward and scars into your suit, cutting the shirt, the tie, a bit of the red, as a flash of dagger comes across your skin and carves into your flesh. You're going to take a single point. We'll check if this is superficial or aggravated. This is superficial. And you feel, as it cuts across that red velvet suit that you wear, a moment where he smiles, twists dagger away, and looks very briefly at the weapon. You can see now, Victor, in this moment, dagger that he wields is ornate. It is wood and steel and covered in strange sigil. Goodbye, Victor Shane. Requiesce in pace. That brings us to Alejandro and Trey. Well, Victor, unless you'd like to move.
I'd already moved because I remember I stepped back, activated it, and tried to whip him away from me.
Stood. Alejandro and Trey.
I mean, I was just crawling like an insect, you know what I mean? And those three were still trying to chase after me.
They're now going to start activating, using weapons, using ranged weaponry. They tried to attack you physically before. They are going to throw daggers, throw knives, and likely take a couple shots with handguns if they have them, which a couple of them do.
Okay, well, I'm not much of a fighter, you know? So I am going to simply blood surge and
While you do this, Alejandro, if everyone's alright, this is breaking away from the mechanics of V5 and kind of helping speed combat along. Is everyone okay if I go ahead and kind of skip turn order a little bit and have Monique, Jason, Felix, all of your NPC friends roll while you guys make your rolls and such? Is there
That's
any
fine
issue
with
with
me.
Yeah, fine. That's fine.
Understood.
So you want
Victor.
us to just do our thing and
Yeah,
roll, and then
yeah.
when
You
you're
guys.
done, let you know.
Well, I'll be doing that in the background. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
To get their intent, your NPC friend's intent. But anything you're dealing with is obviously going to be something you deal with. I just figure rather than having you guys wait for me to roll, because you guys brought a whole posse.
Thought there was gonna be more.
Let's see. I guess I'll just jump down.
You're gonna jump down.
Yeah, I'll try to land on one of them. Just WWE it, Gotta
Go ahead
do
and
what you gotta do.
Go ahead and give me, if you're WWEing this, go ahead and give me dexterity and brawl, please.
Awesome.
Remember that you can blood surge. You can also choose to take half if you so choose.
That would be a horrible idea. Great. Use a willpower. I don't care. Awesome. Didn't change anything. 2 successes.
2 successes. You drop down on one of them, holding on to his back. It doesn't seem to have done any real damage though, but you are sort of spider monkeying this if you so choose, Alejandro.
Hey man, I gotta do what I gotta do.
And we could willpower reroll too.
He tried.
I tried.
Okay.
I got the same amount. That's what I was like.
So, for Alejandro, this being your action, rather than splitting your dice pool to take any sort of defense, you're going to take, as the other two try to grip you and grab you off of their friend, and take shots at you, of course. Oh, I used to have a sticky note that told me to round up or down when the number was evens or odds. You're going to take 2 superficial damage, Alejandro.
Okay.
As the others swarm you. Trey.
Yeah, nothing, bro. Light work. Weak ass thin bloods.
Your rough. Your intent, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna let go of the dude I was on and attack. It's the coffee lady in sight.
Coffee lady is in sight. Standing on one of the pews, looking terrified. What has just happened?
Is she in the mix? Is she fighting?
She has a handgun raised, aimed at Chewie.
She's about to be fighting.
I go for the neck.
Go ahead and I'm gonna make an attack roll for her on Chewie. This is gonna give her no defense against you. Go ahead and make your
Holy
roll.
shit. Well, I rolled for everything already, so
He was sitting in wait.
yeah, I roused or I blood surge failed. My hunger is at 3. But yeah, total successes was 7. So 7 plus the 3, 10.
So 10 unhalved superficial damage.
Yes.
She fires a single shot. Chewie tears into another thin blood, one of the others that was standing in the aisleway. As the shot pierces his shoulder, he doesn't seem too phased, but he looks now toward the others as he's kind of taking stock of the situation. And you leap forward, Trey. 10 of half superficial damage. Take narrative control. She's going to be falling into torpor.
Yeah. Yeah, she shoots, and then before, right after the flash, there's this big ass wolf, right? Coming for her neck. And I come for her neck, knock her on her back, and yeah, I rip her her throat, you know. And then I lick up some of the blood. Yeah.
Understood. There's going to be one that takes a hit against you, Trey. That is an unfortunate roll. That is 4 successes, a messy critical if success, and a bestial failure if it's a miss. However, given that you've taken an action and are doing very well, you're going to take 2 superficial damage as one of them jabs a knife into your ribs.
Oh.
It's 3. 2 are gone. Doing math in my head. Golden. Monique and Felix have joined the fray, and in this moment as well, you can see a number of blurs have entered the church itself and are surrounding and taking stock. Others are rushing in and dealing with what remains. The warriors have joined the fray. Jason takes a shot, shooting one off, or rather, the individual who you are on the back of, Alejandro. Blood spurts forth. This is a massacre, gentlemen. We're gonna do one more turn, and we can continue combat next session. We are quickly going to turn Victor and to Mr. Villarreal. Victor, what is your intent?
The knife that cut me. I want to send that bitch flying. Doesn't have to do damage to him. I just want that knife gone.
Understood.
Using the arms that are still active.
Understood.
Did he pass through them last time? Or did they still make contact and he just still cut?
They made contact and he forced his way, sort of moving. It's as if when you grab someone and try to hold them back and they are a bit stronger than you and they push forward.
If I remember correctly, if they pass the roll and it just passes through them, then they don't do anything anymore to that person.
Technically speaking, mechanically, he rolled higher than your arms. So in this sense, mechanically, technically, yes, that would be. I don't think they wouldn't do anything to him, if I'm remembering the passage correctly. But you can feel free to prove me wrong. We're arguing for each other's argument at this point, but fuck it is vampire.
Mm. It takes an act of will to escape them. A constricted victim must roll resolve and composure and achieve more successes than the attacker to simply pass through the tendrils, incurring no harm. This action does not dissipate the arms, which can attack again on the subsequent turn.
Okay, so yeah. Mechanically speaking, he would have forced his way, or narratively speaking, he would have forced his way through the arm. Doesn't mean he's not susceptible to them now. He, however, is going to attempt to dodge, Dex Athletic, and activate a power here.
I'm going to surge the blood again, rouse the blood. Success.
Five successes on his part.
8 successes.
8 successes. Detail what happens here, Victor.
So as soon as he stepped back and says goodbye, the tentacle lashes out and basically grabs onto his arm, twists it so the knife kind of rolls and flies.
It drops. The arm is broken in several places, and he sort of grimaces for a moment and makes eye contact, squinting as he fades out of view, activating a obfuscate power. With that, for the time being, we have one more moment I'd like to detail for you, Victor. For all of you, really. This is quickly turning into a massacre. Fernando Villarreal is out of sight. And you are all, with the warriors' backup, more than capable of taking out the Thin Blood. But Victor, he fades from sight, and you can feel your body tense. Your blood surged, pulsing the blood through your veins, in and out of your heart, forcing the vitae to bolster your actions. You can feel it flow, forcing it to manipulate itself through your body, and you can feel something shift. There's a twist in your chest, as if a stone or a rock is moving and riding that flow. Each vein, each blood vessel, and vascular push is pain. Something is in you, Victor. Something Fernando Villarreal left behind. That is where we'll end tonight's session. Thank you all.
He did not just run away from me. That's some bullshit.
Thank you all for joining us tonight for Book of Saints. We really appreciate you. And we really appreciate... Looks like there was a hiccup in the stream, or perhaps not. Who knows? However, due to the recording, everything should be real good on our end. So, we appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with us and for seeing the first appearance of one of the Saints' not big bads. I won't call them big bad, but bigger enemies. Not just fodder is a good way to put it. I of course have been your storyteller, Gilbert Ramos. I am at Ramos the Nomad everywhere on the internet. That's TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Blue Sky, all that stuff. We of course have been the Rolling Nomads. You can find us right here, twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads, where we do all our actual play stuff. Our Azure storytelling studio. Azure in the chat, I see you. You can catch us all over the place. Our schedule is online. You can see these episodes over on our YouTube, youtube.com/Rolling Nomads, where you'll find past episodes and, check it out. You might find something you like that you didn't really know you liked. The episodes go up 4 days after Twitch air date. I'm really butchering this, guys. I'm doing great. 4 days after Twitch air date. So this episode will be up on Tuesday over on our YouTube channel. How you can just find that out rather than doing quick math like I just did is by being a part of our Discord server, or you can check us out on Twitter and Blue Sky. Our Twitter is @_Rolling Nomads. Our Blue Sky is @Rolling Nomads. That's where we put our cancellations, our late starts, our announcements, our live uploads, our announcements that episodes are up on YouTube. all that good stuff. That's the best way to keep up to date with our stuff. We have a TikTok as well. Again, you can check that out and see if you like key moments from this. That's where they pop up. Or you can go over there, follow us on TikTok, and find key moments from other shows that you maybe didn't know you liked, and find something that you might be into, such as Witcher, Transylvania Beckons, a V20 Dark Ages Chronicle, Book of Saints, of course, Cauldron of Twitch's Wit. We got all sorts of games over there. That, I believe, is us in a handbasket. We should be all good. And yeah. Anything last minute, guys? Anything you guys want to say for sign off?
Thanks for the session. Appreciate you.
Wait, I appreciate you guys a whole.
Hope I'm here next session.
We will see you guys next time. We'll stick around. We're gonna go ahead and find someone to raid as well. Spread the nomadic love. We will catch you guys next time. Same place, same time, same cadence. We'll see you then.